Okay, thank you very much. And you can begin here.
Thank you, Lena. So welcome everyone. Good morning for us in Latin America. Thank you for being here, but I think the rest of you are in another time zone. So you are already advancing in Monday. So welcome, I'm Gabriela Mendez. I'm the Assistant Director at the COIL office at Florida International University. And here with me is also Alonso. Are you there? Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Alonso. I'm the operations manager at FIU COIL.
Thank you, Alonso. So welcome to our session, COIL and LinkedIn Building Bridges for Global Learning. Before we continue, I would like to share with you that also the language used for this session will be English. We acknowledge and promote linguistic diversity. We recognize the effort implied when communicating in a foreign language, and we would like to encourage all participants to speak from your heart and feel free to include words and expressions for your mother tongue to enrich your ideas. Let us not forget that what we say is more important than how we say it. So we have our session starting with a brief introduction of what is COIL. So we need to understand what is COIL, and then we will like to link this again to LinkedIn. So because we have found that there is a great power in connecting with people. So let me start with this understanding COIL, and maybe some of you are already familiar with this. I see some of our colleagues here. I see Osvaldo from Brazil. I also see Jorge from Honduras. So they already have experience, but some of you might be the first time hearing about COIL. So what is COIL? It's Collaborative Online International Learning, and represented in an image. So we can say that we have a course A, any course. In Mexico, we have the professor and we have a group of students. And then we can have a course B, yes, we can say, for example, Sapir College, and we have this professor with this his group of students. So what happened in COIL is that professors will work together in a joint design of a set of activities facilitated by technology, so students can work in a joint project, bring their ideas and create something new, propose something new to give a solution for a challenge or a problem they are facing in the real world, or just propose something innovative. So what is COIL? In COIL, we have a module inside or implemented in a course that is already designed or is a new course, and we have 2 or more teachers or professors working together with 2 or more group of students from 2 or more institutions, from 2 or more cultures, and speaking 1 or more languages. For example, my first language is Spanish, but I can collaborate in English, or even try to have a mix of them and speaking Spanish, for example. And then, as I said before, COIL is a module with shared goals, shared questions for our students, shared tasks. So faculty is designing this shared task, is co-facilitated by professors, and collaboration is highlighted. So you might have heard about mirror classes, and professors design these mirror classes and they share content, but sometimes there's no interaction between the students. So in COIL, we focus in interaction and collaboration between them. So professors design the activities, and then students work in teams. For example, in the graphic that I showed you before, we can have 2 students from Mexico and 2 students from Sapir College working together in an activity, in a project, or solving a case, or whatever the activity and the professor decide. So in COIL, we have 3 main elements. We have an icebreaker, we have the collaborative task, and we end with a reflection. We have the icebreaker because we need students to start building trust between them, so they feel more comfortable when starting collaborating together. And then we have the reflection, not only in the disciplinary learning or the disciplinary student learning outcomes, but also the whole experience as an international experience. How was the interaction with their international peers? What they learn, or what the skills did they develop during the experience? So this is the idea of COIL, and these elements help us to go through this experience. And then, in summary, COIL helps us to bridge borders, and we can have both synchronous and asynchronous work. But for example, if we have a big time differences between different countries, for example, now I'm joining you from Mexico, and most of you are in Israel, so there is a big time difference. So maybe the majority of the activities for our students will be asynchronous, but we can schedule a first meeting where students can see each other, like a kickoff meeting of the experience, but then we can have asynchronous work. And as I mentioned before, we can implement a COIL module in existing courses, or we can create new courses. So you decide. You are the professors, you can decide this. And then COIL helps us to work in this intercultural competence that students might not have the first time that they enter their undergraduate studies, but we can work with this, and also still work in the disciplinary learning outcomes. So we combine the disciplinary learning outcomes, but we have students working in these intercultural skills. And a COIL module usually lasts from 4 to 8 weeks, so students can have enough time to build this trust and collaborate together in this joint project, and also have this reflection. And also, COIL could be implemented, or this module could be implemented in any discipline at any level. For example, we have had collaborations between undergraduate students and graduate students. Or I will share some examples with you. Here, I won't share all the examples. I'll try to share the presentations so you can have it. But for example, talking about disciplinary, the same discipline in COIL, we can have, we had a course in biodiversity in the United States, working with 2 groups, one in Mexico and one in Brazil, also focused on biodiversity. We have one group that with undergraduate students, and the other group were graduate students. And the COIL task, or the joint project, was to design a proposal for field research project. So they worked together to design this proposal for research project. So this is one of the examples with the same discipline, but we also have interdisciplinary projects. For example, we have one in the US about health and aging, and then another group in Lebanon. about technology and society, and the COIL task or the COIL project was designing an application, an app to promote senior citizen wellness. Okay, and we also have this example. I recently had this workshop where two professors designed this experience. A professor in Chile was teaching pre-hospital and emergency care, and a professor in Colombia was teaching risk management. So they decide to work together and ask the students to send a proposal for a family emergency plan in accordance with national and international guidelines in relation to disaster risk management. So in case of natural disaster, students propose this family emergency plan considering the experience the pre-hospital and emergency care students have, and also the reducing risk. So this is one of the experience that I think shows the how different disciplines can come together and how students can help each other to create something new. So the idea is this. So we have the elephant, and you know this story, right? Like everyone is describing something different about this elephant or this challenge, but when they start sharing what they are experiencing or what they have at hand, then they figure out that that's an elephant. So that's the problem, and then they are collaborating together to find a solution. And quickly, I would like to share some benefits for the students. So I would like to highlight that COIL helps students to build social capital. I will talk about social capital in a minute. And also it enables effective online teamwork. Sometimes our students are not used to work effectively in teamwork, and even in online, it gets complicated for them. And also they work in digital literacies. Again, COIL help them to increase intercultural awareness and communication competencies. So one of the benefits is that it enhances linguistic and translanguage skills. And I think COIL experiences have helped our students to feel more comfortable with communicating in a second language. So this is important because they always feel like a little bit overwhelmed when they need to communicate in a second language. But after an experience like this, they find out that they don't need to speak that language so fluently or have a perfect, for example, have a perfect English, but they can still have a great experience. So COIL also help students to develop global awareness, perspective, and engagement. And let me go back. Also, COIL help students to have interest in travel or study abroad. Some of our students have never talked about traveling or outside their own country, or look for study abroad programs. And after a COIL experience, they feel more interested in this. And also COIL exposes new educational and career paths, so they have a better idea of what they want to do when they graduate. And faculty benefits. So for our professors, COIL sparks their new passion for teaching. They find COIL as a new tool for teaching, as a new motivation for teaching. They start seeing the results and the engagement of the students. So this is good also for professors. And COIL also help professors to enhance their curriculum design and instructional competences. It develops knowledge of comparative and international education. Sometimes as professors, we don't think too much about it, about comparative and international education. We only focus on our discipline, but it helps us to start thinking about this and look for other international practices, for example. And also COIL stimulates research and publication partnerships. So you will see that when you start COILing, you can stop and you can start looking for other things to do besides teaching. So it also helps with this. And COIL have led to different grants, fellowship, and teaching awards. Also, teaching awards in not only internationalization, but also in teaching innovation or something related with implementation of technology. So this is also a benefit for professors. And I would like to share some key elements of successful COIL collaboration. And starting with that, COIL should be student centered. We, as professors, we should think first in the student experience. What do we want for them to learn and to accomplish through this collaboration? And then it's important that between professors, there's a shared vision of these goals, what professors want to accomplish, what is the purpose or the main purpose of the collaboration. And there should be effective communication and trust. This is really important. And again, as I mentioned before, with the elements of COILs, we have this icebreaker. So it's important before starting a COIL collaboration that professors get to know each other and they work in this trust and communication, because they will be designing the activities for the students, and it's important for them to understand each other and feel comfortable if there's something they quite don't understand. So they should feel comfortable when talking to each other, and don't feel bad if something is not clear, so they can ask for clarification. So this is like the key communication. And also being available. Like, for example, if I'm working with another professor and I have a question, I send a message or an email, and I know that he or she won't reply immediately, but I will feel okay if at some point I have this answer and it doesn't take too much time for my partner to reply. So effective communication and trust is one of the key elements. And also complementary expertise and resources. So again, if we focus not only in disciplinary, but also interdisciplinary disciplines, complementing this experience we both have as partners will help us to have a better experience designing the activities for our students. And also we can share resources that will also enhance the partner's experience. And finally, we can think about more elements of successful collaborations, but I will only share these 5. And one of the main key elements is flexibility and adaptability, and be open to adapt anything in the plan if something happens. If there's an incident and our partner needs to move some dates or needs to move or redesign some activity because something in the institution happened. So flexibility and adaptability is also the key. So that was a quick intro to COIL. I know that it was too fast, but I hope you have a better idea of how COIL works. And you will find a lot of resources also in internet, and I will try to share some useful link just in a minute, so you can have more information about COIL. But then we would like to talk about COIL and the power of LinkedIn. So as you can see, one of the keys for successful collaboration is the relationship or the relation between professors, and this is not something like so easy. We need to find a partner who we can feel comfortable with working, and we need to start looking for these international partners that can share the same value. So LinkedIn is a good tool that can help us with that, but we need to understand its power and how this can help us to find our one of our potential matches. So I would like to start talking about social capital, but we will also talk about LinkedIn as a matchmaking tool, and also how to build an effective LinkedIn profile and how to share effective content in LinkedIn. So I'll start with social capital. Okay, so and here we have a couple of description of what is social capital. So it's a set of shared values and resources that allows individuals to work together in a group to effectively achieve a common purpose. So you might find some similarities with the description of the purpose of COIL. So with COIL, we start building, as I mentioned before, this social capital. So we start sharing these values and resources so we can work together with some other students and some other faculty. So we are trying to find or to reach this common purpose. Social capital is the value derived from a positive connections between people. So we would like to connect with these people, with these individuals that will bring positive things for us, and connecting and having this social capital will help us to have people bringing our ideas to reality. So we might have some ideas, but when we start connecting and we start working in the social capital, then those people start helping us to make these ideas real. So this is why I wanted to share about social capital, mainly because we can see that the similarity or the connection it has with COIL or the COIL purpose. But in order to build this social capital, we need to identify these different elements. So it's not only working in the network and connecting with people and just making our connections bigger, but also we need to identify the people who we feel like we belong, and we can start working in that trust that I mentioned before. As I mentioned also, we need to start identifying those common values or those values that we share and respect. And also talking about social capital, I share that we can have people helping us to have our ideas become real, but also we can help other people doing the same. So for example, the connection that Dr. Elena and I have, also we start working in this reciprocity. So we have help each other to make these ideas or these projects real. And also in social capital, we must focus on participation. We need to be engage, and also here we have the engagement. We need to participate. We need to be active in these networks. So sometimes when we have these social media tools and these social networks, we just start clicking and connecting with others, but we are not building this social capital as we would like to do. So we need to be active, we need to participate, to engage, to collaborate, and start working in this trust. So I hope this helps to understand a little bit better social capital. And then we can talk about LinkedIn as a matchmaking tool. So we need to connect professors with other professors. So what can we do with this? So we can start searching by keywords. For example, if you go to LinkedIn and start typing virtual exchange, that will help. You will see some people already adding to the description virtual exchange, or also COIL, or global learning, or some other words that can be related to virtual exchange and COIL. You will also find some groups. There are some groups already there, so you can connect and start reading the publication, the post, and connecting with the people that you feel more close to, or you feel like the ideas and the values that they are sharing are similar to yours. And I will go to the last point, reach out personally, because maybe you can search by keywords and start connecting with people with the same description in the LinkedIn profile, and you will start joining groups. You will start following organization leading the field, for example, SUNY COIL, or FIU COIL, or Virtual Exchange Center. But you can also attend events, but it is really important that you reach out personally. So once you connect, then you send a message, and including something more personal, like something like made you connect with them. And one thing that I like to share as example, we have now these dating apps, and some of the dating apps you can post your profile and your picture and some description, and then people can start connecting with you. But nothing happens if you don't send a message to that person you are interested in. And it is different when you send a message just saying hello. When you send a message saying like, okay, I see that you are interested in reading, and you like dogs, and you also like this type of music. So you are showing that you have read their profile, and then there's something that you can connect with. So don't forget to reach out personally. And I will share my screen in my LinkedIn profile. Just give me a second. So I'm gonna share the screen again. Okay. And please feel free to send comments and questions in the chat, or you can also raise your hand if you have any questions. So, for example, here is my profile, and feel free to add me. I will share my handle in the chat. Let me also share it in the chat. I will be happy to connect with you all. But I wanted to share my screen so you can see that if you start typing virtual exchange, you can see virtual And here I have Virtual Exchange Training Center, so you can follow the Virtual Exchange Training Center. And also you have the International Virtual Exchange Conference. So it will be, if you are interested in this, also the call for proposal for this year's conference is open. You are all invited to attend. And also, for example, if you click or type COIL, you can find SUNY COIL Center, but also there's the COIL URTIC. So there's another potential connection there. And also, let me see if I can go to my profile. So here we have Virtual Exchange COIL in higher education, but we also have COIL in and with Berlin. We have uni collaboration. We have SUNY COIL Global Network Community. So you can go to any of these groups. You can start looking and find the groups that you are interested in, and then connecting with the people that you see are more active on those groups. But again, send a direct message, a message that you can let them know that you read the profile and you would like to connect. So this is one of the examples on how you can connect with others and have LinkedIn as a matchmaking tool on connecting and finding your potential match for your COIL. So let me go back to the presentation. And so we see my LinkedIn profile, and I would like to share how to build an effective LinkedIn profile. So first, you can work on your professional headline. So you saw my name, and there's then a description I will show you in a bit. But here in your professional headline, you can showcase your involvement in COIL, and you can add there, for example, I have I think COIL specialist or something like that, but well, you can add COIL, virtual exchange, advocate for global education, facilitator of COIL collaboration. So you can add that so people can find you easily. And also there's a section, it's called About, and there you can add a summary of your experience. So you have also the section about your learning experience and your working experience, but there's an About section where you can add this summary and provide a brief overview of your experience in COIL collaboration, specifically if you are looking for this, and also for global learning. But again, you can also add another topic if you wish, if you are experiencing something else and you want to find people with related interests, you can use this section. And again, in experience, you can highlight any international teaching experience or virtual exchange programs that you have participated in. But it's not like necessary that you have a long description. You can also add something that is really relevant and that will help you with when people is looking for connection. And then in skills, you can include relevant skills related to COIL. For example, intercultural communication, virtual communication, teamwork, and also global or international curriculum development, if you have. But you can also highlight some other skills. Okay, I see one question, but I would like to finish this part and then I can reply to the question. So let me go back to my profile. Let me go back to here. Okay. So I'm going to my profile, and you can see My headline is Assistant Director at FIU COIL Consultant and Advocate for Virtual Exchange and Global Education. So with this, I'm making sure that if someone is looking for virtual exchange or global education or COIL, if they type those keywords, I will appear in the list of people to connect. And then, I'm sorry, it's in Spanish. I'll try to translate some of the sections. So here is the About section. Yes, and here I have wrote a summary, like I'm Gaby Mendez, an educator with Master in Information Technology Management, with over a decade of experience, and then I focus on facilitating COIL virtual exchange, supporting faculty, and designing professional development programs. So here is a summary or a description that people can read, and I think they will feel more comfortable connecting with me. And then I also would like to share that recently a colleague shared with me this tool, and I'm gonna share it in the chat with you. It's a tool, an artificial intelligence tool that could help you to improve your profile. So for example, I'm placing my handle here, yeah? And then when I click, it starts analyzing my profile, and then it will give me some recommendations. So maybe I can, okay, maybe I can improve my headline. Yes, it's suggesting including online education specialists. Then it gives me also recommendation of engaging summary. So here's an example, and then you can work on improving it if you don't feel comfortable with that. And we can use these tools, but what is important is that we feel comfortable what we are sharing, and what we are sharing shows who we are, and not only sharing our academic profile, but also trying to expose a little bit of our personality and our something that helps us to connect deeper with others. So sometimes the best connections are not the ones that start with the same professional background, but the most successful connections are the ones that are more personal and are that we feel more connected with. I don't know if I'm explaining this. It's too early for me here, and I'm trying to get my brain functioning in a good way here. So I hope this works for you. Then in this tool, there are also other recommendations about your experience, or maybe about how to work on your professional picture. And I think this will be interesting for you. And then let me go back to the presentation. I also talk about effective content sharing. So try to share your post, but also including some personal stories or some personal touches of, again, people connect with who you are, not only with what you do. And try to highlight collaboration, offer also valuable insights, and this is related to engage with other content. So if you are reading a post and you like it, okay, you can send an emoji or a reaction that you like that post, or you are cheering or something, but it works best when you also comment on those posts, offering these insights, or I have read your post, or I think this thing that you are sharing is really important because I'm also working on this, or I think this, or I don't relate to this, but I can also share this other perspective. So this is important, and then this will help you to connect with others that feel also the same as you are sharing. And also you can start meaningful conversation. I remember one post that made a couple of months ago about the role of COIL coordinators, and I left a question there in that post, and I had like a good response, and more coordinators start joining my network. So you can start meaningful conversations there. And for content sharing, sometimes we don't have a good idea of what to share or how to share it. So you can have your idea and then rely on tools like, maybe you are already familiar with ChatGPT, so you can go to ChatGPT and ask, like, write a LinkedIn post related to this topic, and I would like to share these certain key elements, and then you will have this idea provided by ChatGPT, but you can again edit it and try to build it in a way that it shows that it's you, not only the technology, but it has the human touch, and it's something that also comes from your head, but also from your heart. So I hope this is helpful. Let me go back to the conversation, to the presentation. I'm sorry. So I think we will have enough time for comments and questions. And I have shared the introduction to COIL and how can we use LinkedIn to connect and start looking for our international peers, and how we can use LinkedIn for personal or professional purposes. But also here is Alonso. Alonso is our operations manager at the office, and he has been using LinkedIn to help our program grow. So Alonso, are you there? Yeah, I see you.
Yeah. So thank you for that perfect segue. So if you can go to the next slide. So back in June of last year, 2023, LinkedIn's algorithm kind of changed to prioritize two things. One is content that shares knowledge and insights. And the second is that you're much more likely to see content from your immediate network. And then next slide.
There.
So with this in mind, there's a few things that we can do to highlight the great COIL projects that you and your faculty develop. One is to highlight the projects themselves, to reach out to professors and students to share images, videos of their COIL project, testimonials from the participants on their experience, relevant quotes. A lot of faculty also go on to do research that is born from the COIL projects. So it's always a great idea to share links to that research. And if you're an administrator at an office, to regularly share signups for your newsletter, if you have one, or your contact list, so that when you have COIL offers, to have a dedicated list of people to send that out to. And the next slide. And then these are some recent examples of content that we shared. On the left is a research article on how COIL helps students to develop the business skills needed for today's global workforce. Something that we found has been really helpful is to condense research articles into something that is more digestible and to really focus in on, for example, like the actionable insights that research article delivers, just because it's LinkedIn and people have a very short attention span. So just to help with that. And on the right is a post where we highlight a COIL project from a faculty at FIU and one in South Africa. Again, we condensed, this project that lasted an entire term into a few slides to focus on a little bit about the faculty and the students involved, as well as the project itself, to really give the people in LinkedIn an idea of what was going on. And next slide. So with COIL, obviously it's collaborative. So it's always a good idea to collaborate with others within your university. We have collaborated with, for example, the Study Abroad Office and the ISSS, or International Student Scholar Services, to create content that we can post on each other's platform. For example, blended COIL programs are becoming a common thing, where for a few weeks, students meet online in their COIL course, and then they go in person to meet their counterparts in the country. So creating content around that. Human resources within universities are often tight. So something that we do at FIU is we collaborate with BOLD. BOLD is FIU's in-house student marketing group. And it's a bunch of FIU students who are studying advertising and PR, and they help us with our content. So they're gaining real hands-on experience. So if any of you have similar groups at your university, it might be a good idea to reach out to them to maybe start a collaborative working relationship. In addition, I think it would be a good idea to formalize the sharing process between faculty and students and the COIL administrators. I know that sometimes we are shocked when we realize that faculty have been studying for a long time without us even knowing. So having a sort of process to know who is COILing, and then that way they can also share images, testimonials, things that came up from their COIL projects for us to disseminate on LinkedIn and other social media channels. And lastly, like Gabby mentioned, human resources are, tied at university. So using AI tools to help with the copy of social media posts is really helpful. And yeah, that's my portion.
Thank you, Alonso. And we will be sharing with you in the chat our profiles. I already shared mine, but Alonso, maybe you can share yours and FIU's, but here I'm sharing the screen in case you would like to take a screenshot and then connecting with us. But we also wanted to leave some time for questions or comments. I know that an hour sometimes is not enough to share all that we would like to share, but also I have here a question. So what is the role of online education and virtual exchange or virtual mobility in the internationalization of education? So let's remember that internationalization of the education is not only having students joining these study abroad programs, but also start working in enhancing or developing these skills of intercultural awareness, and also making them feel more comfortable when collaborating with others, and also start helping them to be or work in this open-mindedness. So this is the role of online education, but specifically of virtual exchange or virtual mobility, because this is a way when in that we can help them as professors to start exposing them to these different perspectives and different ways to see a challenge or to see a solution for this challenge. So I think that this is the role of international or virtual exchange education. So I see some of our colleagues here with some experience. So maybe you also have a comment on this. For example, I see Jorge. Jorge, would you like to add to this part of the role of virtual exchange in internationalization? So I know I called you
Okay.
out of word. Yeah, but
Good
it
morning.
will be great. Happy to see you here.
Yes, I'm very happy to be participating in this international exchange. For our university, it has been a great opportunity to give our teachers and students the possibility to share experiences with people from different countries in Latin America and the United States. And we would like to open new opportunities in Israel, in Europe, because yeah, as you said, the difference in hours is sometimes a little bit complicated, but if we look for the possibilities and times, we can do something. For example, this morning I had to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning because it started at 4 a.m. in Honduras, this event, but it's a great opportunity, especially if you live in countries like ours, where poverty is a problem. Okay, so many students and teachers do not have the possibility to travel, but virtual exchanges give them this possibility to have more experience of international knowledge, international cultural, know more about cultures of different countries. So I am very happy to be participating in COIL programs. I have to tell you that Gabriela has trained us in Honduras, and they have visited us in Honduras. So we have received training from them. So very happy to be participating in COIL and to give teachers the possibility to have these intercultural relationships. Thank you, Gabriela.
Thank you, Jorge. And yeah, I think that summarizes the idea of the role of these virtual exchanges or virtual mobility in the internationalization. Is not only the exchange of languages or just traveling, but being open to different experiences, to different knowledge, to different resources. So this is the one of the roles of virtual mobility and virtual exchange. So I don't know if anyone else would like to share. I think we still have 5 minutes, and this is a good opportunity to start connecting. I see some of you already started sharing your LinkedIn profile. I have received some requests. I will check those later, and I will send you a personal message. But I would like to hear from you, or what do you think about COIL, if you already have some experience, or if you will be interested in starting with this. Any questions, any comments you have? Go ahead, the floor is yours. I see Celine. Hi, Celine.
Hi.
Go ahead. Happy
Yeah.
to see you. See.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be there. Yes, I started COIL just before pandemic, and I moved to another university and tried to involve them as well. It's a very good way to involve people and to be inclusive. Yeah. I just started a COIL project with Coventry University, in UK, and surprisingly, it's only Chinese students, which makes things surprising for my French student, because I come from France, but it's also a good way to see how it's not so easy to connect with people from other culture, and it was very challenging for them because they thought it was UK students whose culture wouldn't be so far. But it's really a good way to be connected between students, and for me to be connected with another professor in finance like me. So yeah, I'm really fond of that. And I'm
Yeah,
looking always for partners in law, economics, business, and political science for my university.
thank you, Celine. You can share your contact in the chat.
Yeah.
And what about your experience finding an international partner? Have you thought about using LinkedIn, or how was your process?
Could be very different. Some newsletters, especially like those from Coventry, some website, LinkedIn for advertising, such as the conference of today. It's a good way to meet people and to make new connection. It's you know,
Thank
I try to have different kind of information. And
thank you for sharing.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And as you can see, you can connect with others like profile to profile, but also LinkedIn will help you to have access to this type of events. For example, I'm locating in Mexico, but since I'm working also with Florida International University, so my network is a little bit bigger. And also I have connections with people in Central America, South America. And when I share my participation in this event, I start receiving requests and reactions to that post from people I have never thought about connecting with. So this also helps you to have access to this type of events, and keep learning also, because we don't know everything, and some resources we don't have it at hand, and we haven't thought about learning about. And then we start seeing in this post some as Alonso shared, some research articles, and yeah, this opens our world to new things. So I see some activity in the chat. Okay, thank you for sharing, and I will be happy to connect. I don't know if anyone else would like to share a question or comment. If not, I think this is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, especially to my colleagues in Latin America. I know it is really early, but thank you for making this effort, and thank you the rest of you for staying. I know it might be the end of your day, and I hope you are having a wonderful Monday, and you have a wonderful week also. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriela. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
As always, bye.
Great session.
Thank you. I hope we shall really meet.
Yeah, sure. Start by
In
connecting,
person.
and then start by connecting, and then we hope we meet one day.
That would be great.
Okay.